All right, YouTubers, here we go. Thank you for joining in, YouTubers. Here we go. All right, here we go. All righty, welcome back Monday. Sports Monday, right here on Global Sports Broadcasting Network. Cornelius Brad Hanna. This is Hanna Time, coming to you live on Global Sports Broadcasting Network.com. A live stream. Check it out. Listen to it. Plenty of sports talk all over the world on the Global Network, Global Sports Broadcasting Network. Also, YouTube, it's live right now, and also on Facebook. We're coming to you live right here from the GSBN studios. Let's get to it. A big Monday news topic. Soccer superstar Cristiano Ronaldo did something yesterday that was pretty remarkable. Guy loves the sport, loves the fans, knows how to connect with the community. A real special athlete, not just on the field, but off the field too. We'll talk about what he did during a very unique soccer game in Italy yesterday. Also, the Arizona Cardinals are making a big trade, a trade that supposedly is bigger than you may not understand right now, but it's in the making or has been made. Just waiting for an announcement. From what I understand, a trade is going down. And I'll explain it and talk to you in a minute. Just hang on. Also, NFL teams and player news all over. A lot of speculation still. A lot to talk about as we approach the free agency, the opening bell for NFL free agent players to enter and go to a new team and try to get more money and build up your new roster for 2020 for the NFL football season. A lot going on, the trades, and then it's the NFL draft. We'll get into that in a little bit. The NBA, it is struggling a lot of ways. Ratings, popularity is not as high as it used to be. Actually, it's below auto racing, below soccer, below baseball, and below the NFL. So it's behind. It's struggling. They are planning or sketching out a way to avoid the NFL schedule. We'll talk about that. Also, a 104-year-old competing woman in a track and field competition. That's all coming up right now, right here on Hanna Time. All right, let's go to the coronavirus that Cristiano Ronaldo playing in Italy, where they're having a bad case of it or they're struggling. There's a lot of fear. So what they did in Italy, they did not allow any fans to participate or enter the stadium. It was closed off. But the soccer game Cristiano Ronaldo was playing in with his team from Italy still had to play their game. So the stadium was quiet. Just men running around, hitting soccer balls and yelling at each other. You probably heard a lot of trash talking. But Cristiano Ronaldo, the superstar soccer player, global star, did something very unique, very cool. The world's famous player pretended to greet supporters. As like they were invisible. There was nobody there. He was going through a pantomime type of hello, shaking hands, waving, things that you may do that when you see fans. Maybe as far as going to a high level of high fives to fans. Really cool stuff in a way. Was he having fun? Yes. The game was being played behind closed doors because of the coronavirus devastation that's going on in Italy. I don't know if it's devastating from what I hear with other reports, but there's a big concern in Italy that they're getting hit. Now, the Portugal star, first person to reach 200 million Instagram followers, is usually swamped with adoring fans and crowds when he arrives anywhere, walking down the street, going in, shopping. He's 35 years old. He looks like he's still 25, okay? But the video that you get to see, and check it out, is is hilarious in one aspect, sad because of why it's happening. But when you see that he's like walking down the line as if there's fans there, high fiving them and breaking into a big giant grin at the end. He also applauded to each corner of the empty stadium, like during a game. So this game was taking place in Turin, Italy, as being cheered on by supporters during the game. So soccer players go into the corners of the stadium, each corner of the field and applaud, and wave and say thank you. So he even went that far, even though the stadium was empty, nobody was there, still doing and going through those motions. Funny, yeah. Hilarious, probably, but also I think very cool, showing the respect and that he misses the fans no matter who they are, like them or not. His team beat a key Serie A rival in Milan, Inter Milan, 2-0 in Turin, Italy. All right, now here's some more news coming in about the Cardinals. Okay, the Arizona Cardinals. I'm going to give you something right now that I was told yesterday. Cannot give names, will not give names, but the source is strong. The source got it from somebody who is with the Cardinals and heard it from them. So let's kind of get this cleared out. But the news that I got, I wouldn't say it's news, but I'm making it news, that the Arizona Cardinals have or is about to go down in a big trade. From what I was told, that the Arizona Cardinals have made a trade, but the word big was used. A big trade is coming down for the Arizona Cardinals. They're just finalizing something or waiting through. But from what I understand, the Cardinals may have made a big splash in the trade market of a football player in the NFL. I was told from a strong, good source that the trade was made and just needs to be or agreed upon and be finalized and go through. It may come out. It's starting to seem like it could be leaking out. There is rumors right now that the Cardinals are interested in Trent Williams, the tackle from the Washington Redskins, the real stud offensive lineman. Could that be the trade that is being rumored out there that the Cardinals are connected to? His price tag is really high. They just spent a lot of money on DJ Humphries. The Cardinals only have $40 million on the salary cap situation. Is that the guy, or is it somebody else? Is there somebody else that the Cardinals are targeting? That is the mystery name and trade that we'll find out soon. Again, the source told me that the Arizona Cardinals are making a big trade. He's excited about it. He's excited about the Cardinals' future, believes what they're doing. And whoever that player is, the volume on that big trade conversation seemed pretty good. He just looked at me and went, "That's all I'm going to say." That's what he said. That's all I'm going to say. And today, I can't elaborate too much because I don't know who it is, what team is involved. We hear rumors lately about the Cardinals making trades. But from what I understand, that the Arizona Cardinals have made a trade, or they're agreed upon on a trade with a team for a pretty prominent name. The word big trade sounds like somebody is involved that is a good football player for the Arizona Cardinals, or at least on paper. I'm excited to find out when this news pops. Does it pop today, tomorrow, after the 18th of March? Does somebody leak it out? Are they going through the paperwork to prepare for all this stuff? The Arizona Cardinals seem like, if that's the indication that I got and received from this strong source, the Arizona Cardinals are going to make a big splash on a trade I don't believe they'll make a big splash in free agency if this is the case. Because if this trade is a big one with a big name, which means there's dollars involved, the Cardinals may be trading somebody away. Who is the player the Arizona Cardinals will be trading for this big trade? Is it David Johnson? Because that's the biggest name out there. What Cardinal player is going to be traded? There is a trade that is there right now for the Cardinals. I was told the trade is real, that they have made a trade deal with a team. Hasn't been announced yet, obviously, but it's there. What Cardinal player is now the mystery player? And what player is coming to the Cardinals? I'm going to bank that this is going down because my source heard it straight from the number one. So the number one, the number one, the only person that can make a deal. Okay, and when you get that information, they won't just say that, but they will not let me know who it is, what team, what's involved. But there's a big trade, and the Cardinals have made a trade deal agreement with a team right now. And again, I don't think anybody's reporting this. Maybe this is the start of this. There are rumors about Trent Williams. The Cardinals are supposedly interested in Trent Williams, but logically, they said they were satisfied with DJ Humphrey with that big contract. And on the right side, you had Peterson, the right tackle, who they thought was coming on and grooming and developing into a nice player. Or do the Cardinals trade away a guy like, well, then again, Peterson's probably a cheap player right now. So why get rid of him? He's good depth. David Johnson has a contract. Do the Washington Redskins, they have a boatload of running backs, though. They got Adrian Peterson. They got Geese. They have running backs in Washington. Unless the Cardinals are making a trade for another player that fits them, are the Cardinals trading for another running back with David Johnson that fits the Cardinals better? Maybe. Could it be Trent Williams? That is the rumor right now. But from what I understand, from what I know, the Cardinals have made a trade. Not announced yet. We'll find out soon. And either they're just waiting on something to get through, or the timeline, the March 18th. Everything has to come to a point. I don't know how long this type of rumor will just expose itself. There are a lot of teams in the NFL right now making deals. Okay. They're not really supposed to sign free agents. They're not going to, I should say. But communicating with free agents who are still under contract until the March 18th deadline, where free agency begins, tampering is a problem. But are you tampering if you're trying to make a trade? No. You're trying to make a deal. You're working with the other general managers. You're talking about players. You're going to make a trade. When the health examination for these players involved go through, we probably get the answer. We probably find out the trade. I would check your wires. I would keep checking every day. I believe my source would never have said this to me, had no reason to lie, is that this is going down. The Arizona Cardinals have made a trade, a big trade, but we just don't know the names. He does, but he won't tell me. He won't tell me, and that's okay. That's enough information right now. So you'll hear it here. You heard it here first. It's a big trade. I just wondering now who the heck's in the trade for the Arizona Cardinals and who they giving up. So now the speculation begins. Anticipate this trade to be finalized, and we'll know more about it in the days ahead. Maybe somehow today we find out. God forbid. Let's say hi to some people out there. We got Todd, we got Choo Choo, we got Kenny, Andy, Eddie, Cesar, Yodas, Nick in the house, Nish in the house, Choo Choo, Holly in the house. Thank you, people popping in. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. Who else we got in here? Kitty Largo. Hey, Kitty from New Mexico. Dina. Hey, Dina. Hey, Carla. And we got CB. Good job, guys. Choo choo. You don't want the trade. Who is trading? Trading the quarterback for the Arizona Cardinals. I don't think that's going to happen, though. And good morning to Bianca, too. All righty, guys. Thank you for popping in. Appreciate it. So there you have it, folks. We'll come back to that story right away. But if you're thinking about what else is going on in the NFL, let me tell you about this about Trent Williams and the rumors circulating, not just the Cardinals with this potential situation, but the Athletics' Ben Standig reports that the Cardinals and the Texans, and I also heard the New York Jets and the Browns have also been linked to the pretty heavily touted tackle Trent Williams, who has not been happy in Washington. Wasn't a really great year. But his $44.25 million contract that the Cardinals gave to DJ Humphries last month may be not logical for the Cardinals to make a trade for Trent Williams. So when we find out about this Cardinal trade, I found out that the Cardinals made a trade, a big trade. Is it Trent Williams? Why would it be Trent Williams? Okay. The Texans are going after Trent Williams also. They're trying to bolster up their offensive line. They made some deals yesterday. Tunsil from Miami Dolphins in that trade. You get a Trent Williams and they'll load up that offensive line and give their quarterback a lot of time and a better running game. Can the Cardinals do that? Will the Cardinals do that? And who they give up to free up money to go get a Trent Williams? It's not logical if it's David Johnson, because the Redskins have a lot of running backs right now. Unless one of those running backs are in the trade along with Trent Williams for David Johnson. We'll soon find out. But either way, if it's not a Trent Williams involved, the Cardinals have made a trade. And when you make a trade, it's not finalized and confirmed and signed. They have agreed a big trade with the team. And now it's a matter of time when it gets finalized, or does something fall apart? And sometimes that does happen. It does happen. But definitely there is an agreement there that you do not know until they announce it. And we'll find out soon. All righty. A lot of free agents out there too. Rhett Ellison, he's out there. He's a tight end. Tremaine Johnson, the defensive back, he's a free agent. The Jets just didn't want to bother with him anymore. So he's out there. Does anybody want a defensive back that hasn't really played up to their abilities? The New York Giants, Leonard Williams, and those contract deals and the extension with the free agent doesn't look good. Haven't looked too promising right now. Maybe the demand of money that Williams is expecting to get at least $15 million. Are the Giants wanting that? Or do they want Clowney? Jadeveon Clowney is out there, and he wants to be a Giant. And if you don't sign Leonard Williams, then maybe Clowney is the guy. If you sign Williams, Leonard Williams is going to get you $15-16 million on your salary stuff, right? So there you go. Tom Brady is talking to the New England Patriots. How dare they? How dare the Patriots talk to their quarterback? They're trying to make something work out before the deadline of March. Okay? The NFL's legal tampering period begins March 16th. Okay. So let's sum this up with the Patriots and Tom Brady. There's a deal out there that the Patriots have offered Tom Brady $25 million. Now, that is well below the top quarterbacks being paid. Okay? Which is between 30 to $36 million, right? A lot of money there. Tom Brady should be getting at least $30 million. The Raiders have reportedly offered a $30 million contract to Tom Brady. The Patriots are offering a $25 million. This is what's coming out from ESPN's Boston's Mike Reese. More to come as Tom Brady gets closer and closer to free agency. Does he remain a Patriot? We'll find out. Defensive back Tavon Wilson is open to re-signing with the Detroit Lions. Cooper Rush, a quarterback, Dallas Cowboy quarterback, is expected to receive an original round tender offer. So Cowboys kind of like their Cooper Rush. Buffalo Bills signed a very, very good defensive back. This may be an insurance policy because of some free agent situations on their defense with Sean McDermott and General Manager Brandon Beane. Norman will look to rehab his value on the improve it because he's only going to get a $6 million deal. Now, Josh Norman is a veteran. At one point was playing at the highest level as a defensive back, but he signed a one-year contract for $6 million. You would think with that name and what he has done in Carolina, he would have got in Washington, he would have gotten more money. But he's more of an aging cornerback, but he can fit really nicely in Buffalo. And if Buffalo keeps their star defensive players intact, this is a great addition. And Buffalo's defense just got better. David Andrews, New England Patriots, received positive medical news about his blood clots that forced him to miss the entire 2019 season. New England started Ted Karras, but he's an unrestricted free agent who may have played himself into a payday after having a pretty decent year with the Patriots, now looking for his contract. And do the Patriots want to pay him, pay Brady, pay everybody? The Patriots have a lot of free agents. They got problems. Dallas Cowboys offered Dak Prescott $33 million. $33 million, Dak Prescott. Should he take that money? I say take it, Dak, and run. Take it because you want to be a Cowboy. You know the system. You're loved in Dallas right now. Take the money. That's a lot of money. You're among the most paid quarterbacks in the league. ESPN Rich Cimini is reporting that the New York Jets are showing high interest in free agent Byron Jones of the Dallas Cowboys. The Jets are needing a defensive back after Tremaine Johnson's contract. Well, they're not going to bring him back. He's done out of New York. He's done. Also, the teams of the Raiders and the Eagles are also interested in Byron Jones of the Dallas Cowboys. Not a big name, but he did pretty good for Dallas, for what it was worth. Dallas had a really good defensive line that helped out their secondary greatly, I thought, too. So we'll see what happens. More news. Marcus Mariota and the Las Vegas Raiders is a very hot topic. Mariota is out in Tennessee because of Ryan Tannehill and maybe Tom Brady. Derek Carr had career highs in Oakland. The Raiders, they like him, but for some reason, there's still this swirling number and names of other quarterbacks. This is a great offseason to find a quarterback. There's free agents, veterans, young ones. There's the quarterbacks in the draft. I mean, this is a pretty good year looking for a quarterback. There's the LA Chargers, a 4-year deal with their running back, Austin Eckler. He is getting 4 years for $24.5 million. Devontae Booker signing with the Broncos. It looks like the reports the free agent will be entering the free agency. He's not going to sign with the Broncos. Reports the impending free agent Devontae Booker will enter free agency. So there's a nice pickup there for a running back. Okay, a running back. The Washington Redskins, already rumors of trading Trent Williams, are working to lock up their free agent offensive guard Brandon Scherf to a long-term deal. Keep an eye on that one because if the Trent Williams trade happens, that is a lot of money freed up to sign the guy like Scherf. So my implications are that Trent Williams is going to be traded. Is it the Cardinals? There are a lot of other teams involved. But reminding everybody, the Arizona Cardinals have made a trade. We do not know the names of it yet. I do not know the teams involved, or team to two teams, Cardinals and whoever. But I got it from a direct source that had a direct communication with the Arizona Cardinals themselves. And that source clearly said a big trade. And you'll know soon when that trade. But the Cardinals have made a big trade. Can't speculate it's Trent Williams, but his name is out there. But who is the Cardinal player being traded? And what team is it? We'll find out soon, sooner or later. Amari Cooper wants to remain a Dallas Cowboy. Why not? Why not? And again, just to remind people, Jadeveon Clowney is showing great interest in the Giants. The Giants may have actually showed interest in him too. He's expected to want $22, $23 million, Clowney. The Giants either can sign their current player, Quinnen Williams, who is about to go to free agency, for $15 million that they can free up. They can use that money to get Clowney and then pay up an additional, $6 to $7 million to keep a stud like Clowney. The Giants may want to go that route and not sign Williams. Let him go. I know they made a big trade with the Jets and they got him, but they may just let him go if they know they have a deal in the making with Clowney. So when free agent hits, look for the Giants to be very active also in free agency. All right, more comments coming in. I see you out there. Appreciate it. Any thoughts about this Cardinal trade that will go down? Okay. Good morning, Socorro. April, good morning. Abe, good morning. Stephen Ofter. Hey, Stevie. How you doing? I'm not giving away my source. Cannot do it. Won't do it. But I'll promise you it's real. Now, things can change. Like, deals can fall apart if it's not finalized, right? So, but I am telling you now, expect a big trade. That's what I was told. Not expect a big trade, that a trade was done. Like, it's been agreed upon. And it's going to be soon that we'll find out. And that's all I got. It was like a smirk and a smile and nodding head. It was like, that's all I'm going to say. And I'm like, all right, that's good enough for me. It's good enough for me. And then everybody's going to go crazy once we find out. And we'll have a big topic story on that too. So let me see. Got your comments coming in. All right, Choo-Choo. See you later. Andy Dalton. No, I don't think he will be in Arizona. Not at all. Not at all. Not at all. Are the Cardinals trying to move up or move back? Is that a trade also in the making for the Cardinals? Because they are rumored to trade back and get out of the 8th spot. If the Cardinals go get and make a trade for like a Trent Williams, now you don't have to draft an offensive lineman. Now you can go get your CeeDee Lamb and your wide receiver right away. Because now you got your offensive line. But I would go even further and beyond that. I would go get your stud linebacker. I would still focus on the interior, defensive line stud, or a stud linebacker in the eighth spot, and go get a wide receiver in the second round. So if the Cardinals play this out right, if they go trade for this big offensive lineman, go get your stud linebacker for 10 years, go find him, go get him, okay? And then go get your wide receiver in the second round. And now you took care of three things. And then you go into the third round and fourth, and you still got a lot to play with. I think it's a good scenario for the Cardinals at that point. But remind you, the Cardinals have $40 million left under the cap. And whatever they do with it, they can still sign players. But if there's a big name coming to the Cardinals in this trade that is going down, there's a trade that went down with the Arizona Cardinals. That's a lot of money. Sounds like a lot of money's coming this way, or to be spent on a ball player. Who is it? We'll find out soon. All right. So the NFL and the NBA, they cross paths during the football season. The NBA starts their season, they get going November, December, and meanwhile, the NFL is in full force. November and December football is really when the season really gets more news, more popular, because playoff runs and it just starts to really become the mainstream. It takes over. Hockey starts up and the NBA starts up, but that's not strong. And the NBA used to be a big deal when this season started. Nobody cares about the NBA season anymore. The beginning of the season is like nice. People kind of get excited because, they're the local team, the city that you live in. Of course, you go to the game or you and then it plays out and it disappears. It's sort of like the XFL. You get all revved up for it, and all of a sudden, after one or two games, like all the other defunct football leagues, you lose interest. The NBA is, you get all excited for the NBA season. And for the most part, most people are they're not infatuated with it anymore. The romance is gone. Unless you're a fan of a team that's doing well and that keeps you going. But the average fan, the fan that would just pop in and notice people and want to watch the NBA because it was a show, it was entertainment, it was a big deal. That's all gone. November, December, nobody's paying attention to the NBA. The NBA, in a lot of ways, is like the NCAA men's basketball. You don't really pay attention until March Madness for the NCAA. The NBA is like the same thing. You don't really pay attention to it until towards the end of the season, after the All-Star break, after the football season is over, is when you start to see interest filter back into the NBA. So the NBA has to wait for the NFL to stop. The NBA has to wait for the World Series in their news. I mean, baseball was more popular in the offseason than the NBA. And then the Kobe Bryant situation, unfortunate, happened. And that puts the NBA in front pages. But that's not about the game. So the NBA executives are discussing shifting the schedule to avoid the NFL schedule in the fall. So they're literally thinking about not starting the NBA season until around Christmas time, through the holiday break, where the NFL season should have ended or ending in week 17 or 18, depending on the new agreement. Playoff football, and then it's over. And the NBA wants to get in late December and start their season and get through January. And by the time the Super Bowl is over, the NBA is going to be fine. They are discussing the elimination of basketball in November and parts of December. because the NFL is too big, too good, too popular, and the NBA is non existent. So they're trying to find, I mean, it's amazing how bad and how far this has gone for the NBA to be at this point. It is a player driven league manipulated by players, and the interest of the average fan does not gravitate to that. The mixture of all that is bad news. It's not good for the it is now being known what happened to the NBA. Individuality. The me, right? The player who is dictating and manipulating where they want to play and controlling the league. The NBA is being controlled by the players. I don't believe the NBA has any control of their league because the players continue to dictate. And I don't know if the NBA can ever get it all back. Or it's going to take a very hard, it's going to be a strike. They're going to lock their doors, the NBA, to get something right, to change something drastically. I see this happening. LeBron James in his career did not do anything to make this game as big and popular as the Larry Birds and the Magic Johnsons and the Michael Jordans and the Patrick Ewing and Olajuwon era and the Barkley era, right? It didn't do much for that. The Shaq and the Kobe era. That was the last of the popularity of the NBA. The San Antonio Spurs runs, that was the last fading part of it. And once that all went away, did LeBron James really carry the torch and maintain? No. He makes a big announcement that he's taking his services to Miami, his talents to Miami. Like he really had to do that. Like, just go. But that was the beginning of the end of the NBA. The NBA has suffered since that announcement. You can go back and look at it and watch the timeline. And where is the NBA today? Now the NBA is changing or wants to change or discussing changing and shifting their schedule so it doesn't compete with the NFL schedule. You're in bad shape. Your product is being ignored on the shelf. The sports shelf, where you can pick and choose what you want to watch and do. The NBA, nobody's taking that off the shelf. They see it, they walk by. And ever so often, somebody grabs something off the NBA shelf. Man, it used to be a nonstop thing. So the NBA executives say the best way for this league to improve its TV ratings is to attract more fans, is to stop competing with America's most popular sports league, the NFL. Atlanta Hawks CEO Steve Koonin says the NBA should shift its schedule, delaying its start by 2 months, so that less overlapping of the NBA and the NFL season. That's where it's coming from. Here's a quote from Koonin. He said, sometimes moving away from competition is a great way to grow ratings. If King Kong is at your door, you might go out the back door, right? To get away. Sounds like the NBA is running, looking for help, searching for answers. They are. They've realized it's getting worse. Again, auto racing is more popular than the NBA. Baseball, football, and soccer. The NBA, their ratings are competing with the NHL hockey. Think about hockey and its ratings and how people always talked about great sport, great game to watch, but just not really marketable on TV and things like that. And it's a very blah, blah, blah challenge. The NBA is now associated with that scenario with the NHL. They are now realizing that it's not showtime in the NBA anymore. It's me time, player manipulation, and it's destroyed the game. The game has gone backwards. All right, moving on. A 29-year-old, no, check this out. A 104-year-old, 104-year-old Baton Rouge woman will be the oldest to compete in the USATF Masters National Indoor Track and Field Competition or Championship among national champions. She's 104 years old. Julia Hawkins, track and field champion. She's a champion already. Will go up against 800 other athletes. The participants range from 30 years old to 104. That's the range of ages competing in this National Indoor Track and Field Championship. 27 of her competitors are reigning world master champions. 19 are Masters Hall of Fames, and 14 are fellow Baton Rouge native. She's from Louisiana. The race will take place at LSU on March 13th through the 15th. So we'll pay attention to how Julia Hawkins does, the 104-year-old athlete. She's going to be competing at her alma mater, LSU. Last year, Hawkins set a new record as a senior at the senior games in the 50-yard dash, coming in first place in her division. She began participating in the Senior Olympics in the 1980s, breaking world records and winning several awards. But by competing in the USATF Masters National Indoor Championships for track and field at 104 years old, she'll be the oldest ever to compete. God bless her. And she represents very well, not just for women and for girls, but for mankind to never give up, keep the body in motion, to stay in motion. All right, that is good luck to Julia Hawkins. All right, let's recap the show and we'll get out of here. I see more comments coming in. I appreciate it. Comments is the NBA is being run by the players. It is. The commissioner has no control, and nobody wants to see divas run the asylum. I agree with that. I really do. Angela, Roger now, Charles Bidwell III, Jessica in the house. Good morning. All right, let's recap it real quick, guys. I brought this to you at the top of the show. The Arizona Cardinals have made a trade, a big trade, but I don't know who it is. I don't know what players are involved, what team is involved or teams, but the source that I got it from is strong, beyond strong, because where they got it from came straight from the source itself, the decision makers. Look for news to break that the Arizona Cardinals have made a big trade. Who did the Cardinals trade? Or who did they trade? It hasn't been announced. It hasn't been opened yet. But from what I was told, be ready. Be prepared. It's a big one. It's a big trade. And that's exciting. But somebody's going to be leaving the Cardinals real soon here. When we find out, it may take some paperwork to finalize it. Maybe they're going to have to do some help examinations of each player or players involved. So we have to go through all that still. And when does that happen? Are they already going through that? It's on the down low, on a big hush hush. There's that rumor that the Cardinals are rumored to be trading and dealing with the Washington Redskins for Trent Williams. That's a lot of money unless the Cardinals trade away a big name contract to free up money to keep and trade for a Trent Williams. And do the Cardinals have room? Yes, they got plenty of room on the offensive line. So we'll see if it's Trent Williams. That's the first rumor that popped out. But I'm letting you know that it was a rumor. What I'm telling you, that the Cardinals made a big trade. And who is it? They wouldn't tell me. But they let me know that it's going down. So get excited or anticipate whatever it is, Cardinal fans. Something is going down. We'll find out real soon here. Unless something goes wrong with health reports and things fall apart. That always happens. But there's a trade agreed upon. Cardinals and another team. No names of players were mentioned. And again, it's going down. All right. You heard it here first, folks. You heard it here first. The Cardinals are making a trade. Okay. All right, guys. I'm closing in on the top of the show here. I just wanted to pop in any latest news around the NFL. Also, on top of that news I just gave you. And that news is coming from me and my source. Nobody's talking about it on the NFL Network, NFL.com, because they don't know about it yet. And there's a lot of deals and trades out there around the NFL that we still don't know about. Players being talked to. Again, March 16th is the tampering. You cannot talk to players at March 16th until free agency starts on March 18th. But what's going underneath and behind closed doors, there's some conversations about ball players. All right. All right. So Josh Norman is now a Buffalo Bill. The Giants announced the retirement of tight end Rhett Ellison. So now he is now retired. Was a free agent. And no other big news out there. I'm going to hop over really quick for baseball just in case something breaks. Not literally. I hope not. But no big news, no big names being reported out there. That's a good sign so far. There's a lot of little nagging injuries in baseball, muscle injuries. It's for some reason, spring training is turning out to be a very devastating time of the year for all Major League Baseball teams. Players are just getting hurt way too much in spring training for baseball. We are less than a month away from opening day. Yes, baseball opening day is less than a month away. 3 weeks away. Spring training full force. But here we go. All righty, guys. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for popping in. Todd, everybody out there. I hope you understand what I said to you. Your Cardinals are doing something big. Be ready. It's going down. I have a vacation week. I'm going to take off the rest of the week, guys. So I will catch you the following Monday. Okay? The following Monday. Okay? Now, if something breaks with the Cardinals, then we'll come back on and I'll have to find a way of doing it. But right now I'm taking some time off to be with family time. And I hope you understand that. Okay. But if something pops, I may pop on for like a half hour and talk to you all and about the Cardinals strictly if that trade goes down and when it goes down, because it's going to happen. All right. It's going to happen. Mark it down. You heard it here first from Hanna Time, right here on Global Sports Broadcasting Network. Thank you, YouTube people. I hope you appreciate the time that I spent with you. Facebook, thank you so much. And right here on Global Sports Broadcasting Network.com, the live stream, anytime, anywhere. Check it out. Love you guys. And we'll talk to you. We'll talk to you soon. Right here on Hanna Time. All right, YouTubers. Thank you, guys.